um, bring back Jake Lindmeyer. He was right. Every time I worked a Brooks game, Jake would say, "Hey, you need to open up your zone. You need to call higher," and he was absolutely right because I noticed.
That's one good thing that old Jake was good at that I quite
Yeah,
liked him. I didn't I had a half dozen games behind the plate with Brooks and whoever was going on, and Jake was always good by that's not up. And I'd look,
yeah,
oh, yeah, whatever, Jake. I turned my head. He was on the third base side, and Brooks there. That's not up. I know, I know.
yeah,
Okay, sorry. I didn't say sorry, but you kind of just you look ahead because there's the ignore, acknowledge, warn, eject. But it never got even to the
the
warn
Warren.
stage with Jake. It
Yeah,
was acknowledged, but it was
no,
more like, all right. Or else you talk to the catcher, Chance Akers, I think his name was. Like you talk to him and
yeah,
you talk to him and say, yeah, okay, tell Jake,
yeah,
tell Jake to shut up. But yeah, I got it. Or whatever. It's one of those things. Yeah, like that's the thing is that and I was like that a long time ago. Even when I got back into it in 2019, you were more hitter friendly for a reason instead of pitcher friendly. Like that's how I
yeah,
felt. And you wanted to give the hitters a chance because hitting's hard. It really is. And then like if you fail 3 out of 10 times in baseball, you go to the Hall of Fame.
yeah,
And that's just factual. So maybe sometimes you give the batters the benefit of the doubt, and they're more in your ear than a catcher or a pitcher is, obviously, because a batter will say, "Is that up? Is that as high as it go? Is that as far?" Like what they always say, and
yeah.
so sometimes we tend to give the batters more leniency than the pitchers do, than you give the pitchers, and I think it's kind of got to go the other way around. And I think to a man, most coaches on both sides of the ball would rather a bigger zone, one to get more strikes being called, and two to get the hitters up their swing.
Yeah, exactly. And that's I don't know if it was because it was my first year in the league, and I mean some of these players are the same age as me or older than me even, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was influencing my game at all. But after looking at this game, I was definitely a hitter friendly umpire that day. Like there's 31 runs total in this game. The final score was 16-15.
Oof.
And yeah, it was a rough game, but so it was a learning experience for sure. And I'm glad my professor allowed me to analyze this game because it helped me realize where my zone was and helped me realize that everyone else is right. I do need to open up my zone.
Like we talk about it a lot. We talk about your paper a little bit here and there when we do our clinics and like all the time. We talk about the things that you found. And the one
Yeah,
thing that was interesting is that the like we all have lives, we all have jobs, we all have things going on, and umpiring is not a full-time thing. Although like most of us would like it to be, it's just
yeah,
not in the books for some people. It's just not a thing. At my age, it can be a full time gig. I can't go to umpire school and become a professional guy because they don't want guys as old as me out there. They just don't. It's just the way things are,
yeah.
right?
No,
Uh,
it's
and like maybe a Pac-12 something like that in the future. But the thing is that people don't understand, and this is part of your paper that you found was, and that your professor found was that because this isn't our part-time job or this isn't a full-time job, we travel, we have jobs, we have lives, we have
yeah.
this, we do X amount of games a week, X amount of games a year. You got other things on your mind. Life gets in the way no matter what you got going on. Was that one thing that you really got that piqued some interest in your own coconut? Was I'm tired and I'm going to make mistakes.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, absolutely. The more I talked to my professor throughout this study is he really wanted me to focus on how fatigue affected my umpiring because he knew that I had a full-time job and I umpired. And it didn't really register with me until I did this study, but my schedule in the summer was crazy busy. Like I worked 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. and then I would drive 2 hours to Brooks and work a game until 11 o'clock at night.
And then you
So
get
you're
home,
working,
and I
yeah,
find
and
I
then you
find
got a
personally
2 hour drive home.
and then when you get home, like more so home games than like I should say home games. Umpires don't have home games, but games in
Games in
Lethbridge,
Lethbridge.
like
Yeah.
games in Lethbridge or yeah, games in Lethbridge, you get home and you're a little bit wired. I am personally, like I'm not ready to go to bed right after game because
No.
you're in front of X amount of people and you had a good time and your adrenaline's still going, so you're not going to bed till 1:30 because you're a
Yeah.
little bit wired up, right? So you don't get the amount of sleep that you need, and people don't understand that.
Yeah, like I mean, for example, the day of this game, I woke up at 6 a.m. and I didn't get home until 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like that's almost 19 hours. So that's just pure work, travel, and umpiring with not much breaks in there. I mean, yeah, a 2 hour drive to Brooks is a break, but
But how much?
travel
Like,
traveling is tiring in itself too.
yeah, you're not. It's not like we're sleeping. We're always talking and BS and talking. And
Yeah.
then after the game, especially, you're talking about the game and this and that and joking with each other and then talking.
No, there wasn't many jokes
Not me.
after
Well,
that
maybe
game.
some jokes thrown your way that
There's,
you weren't acknowledging or whatever. But no, it's one of
I'm
those
pretty
things.
sure Brian. Yeah.
It's one of those things that people don't understand a lot. Is that especially at lower levels, even is that like when parents and coaches get mad at amateur umpires, and we're trying to get away from that. We shouldn't focus on the negative, but the negative of to umpiring isn't going to go away. It's as old as the game is. But people don't understand that. Yes, we're the only ones that are. Well, I shouldn't even say we're the only ones getting paid because there's some coaches making some money off this whole deal nowadays. But people don't understand. Parents don't understand. Coaches don't understand that we all have. And I'm not playing a small violin here. I'm not trying to beg for anything. But people don't understand that a lot of guys who are amateur umpires, they have lives and they have jobs and they have things going on. And baseball's supposed to be a bit of a release and a way to make a couple extra bucks to supplement your income or whatever it's going to be. And when you do make a mistake, you're not doing it on purpose. Sometimes your fatigue sets in and you may not feel you're tired, but you just don't get to a spot you're supposed to be. Your head isn't in it because you and your wife had a little set too earlier on that day or whatever it may be. People don't understand that umpires are humans too. And like I said, I'm not crying. I'm not playing the violin and I'm not crying, but I'm just saying that people need to take a step back and go, okay, yeah, he made a mistake and maybe something's going on in his life.
The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.